is going on, Redskins fans? Another video coming at you from Redskins Rant. Hail to the Redskins. Got some topics to go over today. Keeping up with the Redskins off season, well, their preseason, I should say. There's a lot of topics to go over today. I got about 8 topics. I could probably find some more. I've kind of rearranged my room a little bit, or where I film, so it's not the most ideal layout at this moment. So I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm gonna cycle through these. You can watch some of these highlights if you would like to. So, a couple topics to go over today. First off, I want to wish Jimmy Moreland a happy birthday, the People's Corner. He has a birthday today, and he's also been getting a lot of praise from Ron Rivera. I seem to like him a lot, and I like that. It's pretty cool that he's getting a lot of recognition. Seems like there's a spark on his face every time he talks about Jimmy Moreland. And Jimmy Moreland's a good, tough player. And like I said, I'll rotate through these videos so you guys can watch them while I'm talking about this. So that's good to hear because I like Jimmy Moreland. He had a great season for us last year. Yeah, so I just want to throw that out there. Happy birthday, Jimmy Moreland. Redskin through and through. Okay, so the first topic we'll talk about is Terry McLaurin. There is a definite, for what I'm hearing, and I listen to a couple podcasts, a couple different reports, follow some people on Twitter. You'll probably see a couple of them on here of people reporting on the practices that they've been having, and who's been standing out, who's been playing well, who's not been playing well, who's been getting chewed out, so on and so forth. So one of the ones that's been that got a lot of recognition lately is Terry McLaurin because he's getting a lot of targets from Haskins. And he catches a lot of those targets too. So he's not only just getting a lot of targets, but he's catching a lot of targets. He's definitely a favorite target right now. Him and the next person I'll talk about are the 2 favorite targets right now for Dwayne Haskins. Now, do I see that happening the entire season? Probably not. Because the entire season, Washington Redskins are going to come across other issues. Like, they're going to actually have teams doubling McLaurin. They're going to take him out of the game and make someone else beat him. Which I think we have weapons around him that can thrive in that situation. So like right here, this is actually a video of him like catching a touchdown pass. I'll restart the video. It will start itself in a second. So this is him, like the last play of practice, deep against Stroman. Stroman's actually had a pretty good camp too. He's had a couple interceptions. It was a great catch. Got it. Pretty good. So not getting into it, but that was a heck of a catch, and I'll let you guys watch that a couple times. So Terry's legit, and he kind of got hit pretty hard the other day, but he bounced right back with no issues. I think he's legit. He might be the best player on our offense this year. I thought it was going to be Geis, but Geis is gone, so we shall see how this plays out. I think Bryce Love and Adrian Peterson are going to be just as good, and I feel good. I feel happy for Peterson because he gets an opportunity to play some more. And he's going to get a little bulk of the carries. Second topic I want to talk about, Logan Thomas, is apparently been a very good big target and favorite target for Haskins in the red zone. Him and Marcus Ball seem to be like the 1 and 2 tight ends, and then you have Jeremy Sprinkle at 3 and maybe Hal Hinch is at 4. They cut Thaddeus Moss. I don't know why. I think it's because he wasn't healthy. Somehow he circled back to the team. He went through the waivers where anyone else could claim him, then he circled back to the Redskins practice squad. So, that being said, Logan Thomas is apparently being they say a stud. I think stud may be an overstretch. He's just playing against practice squad right now. But Washington has definitely found themselves a tight end that can actually catch the ball in the red zone. Big target, big body guy. And Marcus Ball is the same thing. Marcus Ball, if you guys don't know, went to college with Haskins and McLaurin. So that is why it's kind of a big deal that they're on the same thing. Now here's a couple of tight ends. I think there's a bunch of tight end stuff and things like that. I'll restart this one for you guys while I'm cycling through. So the tight end squad is looking a little bit better than we anticipated. Much better than we anticipated. Okay. So, the next topic, Troy Apke is much better than we thought as well. I'm starting to think that a lot of the things we thought we knew about players that were under the previous administration are just wrong. That it's just not even close to being accurate for what these players are. Troy Apke, for what I've heard, has been great. He's lighting people up. He's been hitting hard. He's been playing fast, playing aggressive. so on and so forth. He's been doing all these things the right way that you're supposed to do in camp, and he's doing things a lot. He's been getting a lot of the first team reps, and I think that getting a lot of the first team reps is a positive sign for him that he kind of gets. Like I didn't hear anything about him getting first team reps last year, but the practices have been like a night and day difference between this year and last year. So I think Troy Apke is finally getting his opportunity to shine. And I think maybe the defensive scheme is a little bit better. Maybe we got a coach that knows how to use him better, so that's helping too. But I think it's a combination of both of those things. That Troy Apke, because he's been, from what I've heard, he's been laying some hits on people. He hit Haskins, like, I don't think he hit Haskins. I think he went for the ball when him and Haskins collided pretty helmet to helmet-y. And, yeah, they've just been going at it. And I'm really happy for Troy Apke because he was one of the guys that was drafted that I felt could have been good and could have been like a really good contributor to the team had X, Y, and Z happen. He's got the speed, he's got the strength, he's got the ability. I think just right now he's being put in a spot where his skill sets being put to a just kind of like just being used better, I guess is the best way to put it. Haskins actually looks really good. So that's the next topic is Dwayne Haskins. Haskins looks good. He's finding guys open. There's been a distinct difference that, according to some of the podcasts I've listened to, a distinct difference in Kyle Allen and Dwayne Haskins. Kyle Allen, a lot of his passes are like near the line of scrimmage. Dwayne Haskins makes a conceited effort to push the ball down the field, and that's where I think Dwayne Haskins is going to have a significantly greater edge when it comes to the QB competition. I don't think it's competition anymore. I think Haskins number 1, Kyle Allen maybe number 2, and they might keep Alex Smith as number 3. I mean, to be fair, they're not going to cut Alex Smith. He's making $20 million this year. They cut him; it costs more money. So, but having him on IR actually helps their situation a little bit better. And apparently, it looks good. And I'm not going to talk about Smith right now. I'm going to move that on to a different topic. But Haskins has looked good. He's had a couple strings of good practice. He's had some bad ones too, but he's had some good ones. I tried to find it. I saw a post a little earlier that said that the first 3 passes of the day for Haskins were all 3 like touchdowns to X, Y, and Z. One McLaurin, one was Logan. I don't remember the third one. So if that's the case, that's fantastic. That's exactly what I was hoping we get. Is with more reps and more time as quarterback, Haskins would start thriving. And if he's doing this against our current defense, that's just good news there because our defense is good. The word out of camp is that the defense is okay. Our defense is very good, and our offense is decent, but our defense seems to get the better of the offense on a consistent basis. And I don't doubt that's the case because the defense is loaded with a bunch of first rounders, and the offense isn't. The offense is loaded with a couple. Like our best player is I think a 4th round pick. I think that's when we got Terry McLaurin was like a 3rd or 4th round. So and our second best player, I mean, depends on who you look at, is 30-some-year-old veteran. If you want to look at it that way. And then a lot of question marks. But for the most part, Haskins has looked very good. And there's a lot of names on here on this list that we didn't anticipate being a part or being like a big factor. They were just in the mix, but not like a factor or like a sleeper or whatever. So far I've talked about Logan Thomas, Troy Apke. Now I'm going to talk about a third one. Daron Payne. Daron Payne was not, we did not look at him as, Daron Christian. There we go. We did not look at Daron Christian as a player who's competing for that left tackle spot. We thought he was just a body, and we thought it was going to be Shadik Charles. And Shadik Charles is, according to all the reports, I haven't really seen him out on the field very much. But right now, Daron Christian looks like he's just starting left tackle, which good for him. He's been on the team a couple years, and maybe finally clicked with him. Maybe he's got a coaching staff that gives him a chance. I don't know. I don't know. But for what I've heard, Daron Christian looks like the guy. I guess it could still be Shadik Charles. Maybe he just steps in and just dominates. He's just that much better than Daron Christian. But right now, Daron Christian looks like the guy. And that's a guy that most of us, I wrote him off. I'm not going to lie. A lot of things about him was he didn't have that body strength. I'm like, how is that the one thing you can't? If there's the one thing you can fix in the NFL is your strength. Like, you have a whole offseason to just pound the weights. That's one thing you can fix in the NFL. You can't fix your athleticism. You can't fix your speed. Those things that you can't fix your length and your height, but you can fix your strength. And I was just wondering, like, for a long time, why is that the one thing that he's having issues with? But Geron Christian seems like it's clicked, and he looks like he's fixed the upper body strength issue, and he looks like he's a replacement level of Daron Payne last year, and then plus maybe a step or two above that. He's not like a full-blown like great starter, but he can do the job, and he might progress to be a great starter by the end of the season. That'll be we'll see. But playing against guys like for like Chase Young and Montez Sweat and Jonathan Allen and Matt Ioannidis, he's only going to get better. He's not going to get worse playing against good competition. He's going to get better. So maybe he's going to learn some techniques and he'll learn some things that are going to help him get the job done. So that being said, let's move on to the next one. Apparently the defensive line looks effing amazing. Across the board, let me change the video. Just effing amazing. The defensive line looks goddamn amazing. Daron Payne, you got Matt Ioannidis, you got Jonathan Allen, you got Tim Settle, you got all Kerrigan, you got Montez Sweat, you have Chase Young, you have all these guys. And even Caleb Brantley apparently looks good too. I think that's his name. Caleb Brantley? Yeah, or Jordan Brailford. That might be what it is, Jordan Brailford. He looks good too. And I actually have someone on the list that I haven't talked about, Sean John Hamilton. Sean John Hamilton and the Handlers looked very good in this offseason, in this preseason, and he looks like he might be the starting middle linebacker. Like I was surprised at that because I thought it was a fight between John Bostic, who's the other one? God, I just had his name in my head. Sean Bostic, Reuben Foster, and then what was the third one? Thomas Davis. Yeah, Thomas Davis. I thought it was going to be a fight between those two, but a lot of what I'm hearing is Sean John Hamilton is head and shoulders being better than all of them. So I'm just really curious because the last few years we had so many of these guys getting injured. Is it strictly like the workout regimen, the workout routine was what was causing guys to get injured? Or is it just these guys are they just in better shape now? I don't know. But all I can say, and I'm going to knock on wood while I'm saying this, is it seems like there's a lot less of those problems when it comes to injuries than they've had in the past. And I think it's if for what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, I think we're going to have a competitive football team. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to go 16-0 or anything, but I think we're going to have a competitive football team because at least I think our defense is good enough to hold suit. I want to jump to the Cam Sims conversation or topic right now. That's Cam Sims, which is right here. That's a good toe tap he gets right there. And I'll go to the other video. There's another video where he gets this too. It's the same video, it's a different angle. Cam Sims apparently looks really good, and he's a big receiver. He's 6'5". He has good vertical. He's from Alabama. He's been on the team since 2008. He's still young. 2018, still young. So he could easily get on this team. The fact that Harmon is injured and who was the other receiver? We had another receiver. That's not on the team anymore. That was he just got cut. What's his damn name? I can't think of his name right now. It's not. Is it Latimer? Yeah, Cody Latimer. We just cut him. So right now, here's what it looks like in the receiving core that I'm sure of. We got Steven Sims, Terry McLaurin, and Antonio Gandy-Golden. Dontrell Inman doesn't look horrible either. Cam Sims, and then you have like Trey Quinn and you have Isaiah Wright and Jonathan Johnson. I don't remember his name. But he's another receiver that was like undrafted or whatever. But we have like a lot of options at receivers, what I'm getting at. And we just got to decide which one we want. I mean, if Gandy-Golden doesn't show up, he's a 4th rounder. He maybe put the practice squad for a year, and we go with Cam Sims for a season. Dontrell Inman wouldn't be a horrible option because he knows how to block and do those things. He's competitive with it. But I think we have options, and I think Cam Sims is an option that we might be looking at because he's such a big target in the red zone. And how high he can jump, how big he is, how physical he is. I just think that's exciting to watch and exciting to wait for and see. And then, like I said, I was going to circle back to this anyway, which was to talk about Alex Smith. Alex Smith has looked very good in preseason. I need to turn it down just a little bit more. He's looked very good in this preseason. He's looked good enough to. He's gone like 9 on 9, so he hasn't done 10 on 11 on 11 yet. He's looked good so far. He's looked like he's moved well. He's gotten hit a few times. He's thrown very well. He actually is a couple days in the last 2 weeks where he's been like the best player on the field, and it's incredible that he's showed up and be the guy and be such a good impact in the locker room. I mean, even if he doesn't play, if he never plays one down for the Redskins ever again, or Washington football team, whatever. The fact that you can sit there and say, listen, this guy came back from a broken leg and he's playing, and you're going to sit there and be a pussy or whatever and not fight through like a toe cramp or something, you got to be kidding me. And like you also got Ron, and I haven't talked about this yet. Ron just got diagnosed with cancer. Same thing. You're going to have Ron there with cancer, Alex Smith with a broken leg. You got a 38-year-old Thomas Davis and a 35-year-old, 36-year-old running back in Adrian Peterson. You're going to have all these like older guys. You have all these guys that are just out there giving their all and coaching and playing, and you're going to have excuses to do other things, like to not give your best. It just makes no sense to me that anyone thinks that would be an okay thing to do. So, with that being said, I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about with this topic. Apparently, they're going to have a scrimmage tomorrow. It's just a normal scrimmage what they're doing at FedEx. It shows a handful of things. It shows like their protocol for games and things like that. So it's exciting to see that. I'm excited to see it. I wish we get a practice film where it's at like a good angle, and not at like another angle. I do like the fact of how Coach Ron is coaching. Coach Ron is doing a lot of things coaching wise, where like after practice talking like I think like okay, so this is what happened with practice yesterday. Practice ended yesterday or like a couple days ago. It might have been Sunday. With Landon Collins getting the pick 6, and Haskins was talking to running back J.D. McKissick, say you made your route too shallow. You should have gone a little bit deeper. It was like some kind of slant, I guess, or something. And Ron was listening to it, and Ron came over and coached them both like, listen, hey, you did throw your route. You did like round out your route. You didn't like you didn't make it a smoother route. But also Haskins, you did throw late. If you'd have thrown a little earlier, it wouldn't have been a pick. It'd have been a catch and go, so on and so forth. And I like that. I think that's good coaching. I think he really cares about the production of his players. And I don't think he's going to be an excuse. He's not an excuse-ridden guy, and he's not going to make cancer an excuse. So I like that about him. And I think we're heading in the right directions. I've heard a lot of good things, and I'm excited to hear more good things going forward. That's it. This is the Redskins Rant. Thank you for watching. If you want to, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. I want to get up to 500 subscribers before the season starts. And then follow me on Instagram or on Twitter. It's Redskins Ranter. It's exactly this one right here. This is the photo. And, yeah, without further ado, thank everyone for watching, and hail to the Redskins. See you.